help us. You're most welcome to this year 2026 first Purposeful Aging session. Today, 31st January. Yes. For those who have been going through some elections, welcome back. I hope everything went well. Purposeful Aging team is happy to have you back, and we are going to start in a few minutes, but rather differently. Let me put on my camera for a short time for those who haven't seen me this year. There I am, Dr. Christina Kadama, your moderator. I'll start off with a small prayer. And I would like to ask all of you to join me in this small prayer before I introduce the topic. Yes. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of life and for the blessing of our old adults. Thank you for the years we've lived, the wisdom we carry, and the families and the communities we have built. As we gather today, give us peace in our hearts, clarity in our minds. Help us to accept the changes that come without fear. Give us strength where there is weakness, comfort where there is pain, and hope where there is worry. Teach us to care for one another with love, honesty, and respect. Protect our seniors from harm, neglect, and exploitation. Guide caregivers and family members to serve with patience and integrity. May this time we have this morning together bring understanding, healing, and dignity, and we place this session in your hands, O Lord. In your name I prayed. Amen.
Amen.
This morning, Purposeful Aging is actually also going through a bit of changes. And our topic, as you might have seen, is how to prepare spiritually and emotionally for life's transitions that come with aging. It's a very important topic, and without further ado, I just want to introduce our guest speaker this morning, Catharine Olivia Mufumba. I'll ask Olive to put on any other introductory details as she wish. I'll explain the changes after the speaker has given us her talk this morning, because we do have only 20 minutes with her, and the rest of the time we shall be on our own. We shall go through discussion on our own. And without much ado, let me ask Olive, Catharine Olive, to greet us and also dive straight into the talk. Welcome, Catharine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kadama. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I only have 20 minutes, so yeah, I won't be able to unpack the whole thing, but I think I will introduce it, and then when I'm gone, you can continue. Where I am, you might hear some noise from the background. but that's the nature of the environment where I am right now. So how do we prepare spiritually, or how do we prepare ourselves for the journey ahead? Because whether we like it or not, we have to go through different transitions, and these can bring a mixture of emotions. If we are lucky, we are able to plan these transitions and we can welcome them because we have had part in planning them. But there are those which come unexpectedly and they become so challenging. We seniors, we have a unique place in God's plan because by the time we kind of get to this age, we have wisdom on our side. We have been faithful because we have committed our lives to Christ and we have lived that journey for a while. And we have had a lot of experience which can be a blessing to those around us. Now, because of that experience, because of the wisdom, and because of the faith, the way we conduct ourselves can be an example for the younger relatives, for our friends, and for our loved ones. And it can actually point those who don't know God to God. Each year we live is a special and precious time for us because we shall only live it once. Each year, once it goes, it's gone. So as we grow older, we need to become comfortable with growing old. Now, I'm born again and I've had some years of walking with the Lord. So I can say the only way I'm able to face any changes in my life is by the grace of God. So personally, I don't know how people negotiate changes without God. Because if it was not for the Lord, I don't know where I'll be right now. But He helps me to face each change. He helps me to face each situation as it comes because He gives me His strength and He enables me to face it without being fearful or losing my focus. My favorite Psalm is Psalm 90. One of the favorite is Psalm 90, verse 12, which says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Without God, it's difficult to actually face life. So I'll say maybe even the first thing one can do before you start facing the changes is to look at your relationship with God. If you are not born again, I'll say this will be your first priority to sort yourself out and get right with your Maker, because then you are on the right path and you have the right compass to guide you and direct you where you should go. So when it says teach us to number our days, because we are here for a limited amount of time, none of us knows when our number will be up, but then each day should count. Each day should be a blessing to those around us, and each day we should do something to contribute to the kingdom of God so that we ourselves grow in our walk with Him as we grow old in our physically, and we are able to be a blessing instead of a curse, or instead of causing people grief. God's wisdom will help us to help them to improve their lives and to be better individuals in our community. As we age, our focus should actually shift from doing or from being productive, from productivity and from accumulating things to inner growth. We should become more grateful, and we should let go of those things that don't mean much anymore. So it should be a life of doing, a life from doing to a life of being, making peace with ourselves, making peace with our families and neighbors, and of course, living in peace with God. This we can do in so many different ways. As a believer, my daily walk, my Bible reading, meditation, and prayer will help me to face what I'm going through or what is coming my way. Prayer will help me to become more strong in my work. It will help me to have a constant communication channel with God. How I do my prayer will depend on how I'm walking with the Lord. But it's possible to have a structured prayer where you are using a guided meditation okay. You can buy a prayer book. You can have a structured prayer, or you can depend on reading the Bible and then praying the word of God back to Him, or whatever, however you do it. I think the main thing is that you have a set time where you spend time reading the word of God, allowing Him to talk to you, and you talking to Him, and then finding a way of applying what you have read. You can also join a Bible study group or a small group, depending on where you are. Sorry, excuse me. Now, I spent my youth in Uganda, but I've lived in different parts of the world. So some of the things might not be practical to Uganda, but I think wherever you are, some of these things you can find a way of doing them so that it enriches your life and you are blessing to other people who might need you. So you can start your day by listing things which you are grateful for. So you shift your focus from what you don't have to what you have, and then keep a gratitude journal listing things you are grateful for and counting your blessings. Because when you do that, you actually realize that you are more blessed than a lot of people around you. And it also stops you from being bitter because you lack this or you lack that. Because everything we have is a blessing. Even just like today, our breath is a blessing. God has woken us up. He has given us His breath. So we are able to talk, we are able to walk, and that should really mean more than what we don't have. Then in a transition also, we have to learn to use our time, especially our time when we are alone, and not looking for dependents or not looking for people to spend time with, but to learn to enjoy that moment and use it to find out what God wants us to do. Because God doesn't want us to be alone. That's why He created us and put us in families, and He created us to have a relationship with Him. So we shouldn't allow the devil to convince us that we are alone. So when you are alone, use it to cultivate or to build yourself up by finding things that will enrich you. And God promised us that He'll never leave us nor forsake us. So we are never alone. Use that time to grow. Look for areas where you need to grow and cultivate those areas when you are alone or when you are by yourself. I want to use the word alone. When you are by yourself, because God is there with you. Take time to reflect on your past or take stock of your journey. You've come this far, however many years. So learn to forgive others and learn to forgive yourself. And where you still have unfinished business, make sure you put a closure so that they don't keep hanging over your life. Get involved in serving others, as this will provide additional sense of purpose. It's not just you and I and myself, but other people in your community who will need you or who just need a listening ear or someone to hold their hand and help them in whatever they are going through. Use that time to redefine your identity. I think this is the time when we have to shift from defining ourselves by what we do, and you define yourself by your inner being and the relationships you have. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a grandmother, I'm a neighbor. So that makes my life richer than just what I was doing or what I do. Then we also need to find new purpose. You are dealing with these new changes that are coming, but don't let them cloud your life. Look for actively experience with new activities. There might be people in your community, young people who need mentoring, who need guidance in career-wise, or just who have fallen off the wagon and they need someone to talk to them and bring them back on the right path. You can also find new hobbies that will enrich your life and bring you more joy in your later years. So you don't grow bitter, but you find more joy, more inner peace, because there are things that are adding to your life. You can join in building communities. So you attend church and you attend community meetings. You join support groups. You share your story and experiences with other people, especially those people you find trustworthy. Because as you share, you might find that people are also going through the same changes and they need someone to help them see the light, as it were. Then we also, as we are growing older, we are losing our friends, our neighbors. So we have to to learn to embrace grief. We have to acknowledge our emotions and allow ourselves to go through the grieving process as it happens. We have to learn to let go of possessions or downsize. And this, you are doing it not as a loss, but as a spiritual loosening of attachments. You know, we get attached to possessions, and sometimes even when we don't need them, oh, next year I might need that. Next week I might need that. But I think we need to let go so that we create space for new experiences and for inner freedom. You know, we came in this world with nothing, and we will leave with nothing apart from our relationship with God and those people around us. We have to accept that our bodies are changing. So we accept the changing limitations. You are not as young, so your limbs might not be as fast as they used to be. But we need to face these changes without bitterness so that it gives us inner peace as we face it. So if today I'm feeling weaker, I shouldn't be bitter. Oh, I can't do this anymore. But what can I do in my new condition? What can I do if my knees give up each time I wake up? Or each time I try to walk, I have to steady myself. So how can I deal with that so that it doesn't cause me bitterness, but I walk in freedom and I can enjoy the current years or the current days. Then also we have to trust in God's divine plan. He knew each one of us before we were formed in our mother's wombs, and our lives have a higher purpose even in our old age. We have to cultivate the willingness to receive help from others. Consider it as a gift to the giver rather than a burden. You know, especially most of us who are used to doing things by ourselves, for ourselves, it's so difficult to accept help from other people. But we need to learn to let go and allow other people in our lives to help us, especially to do things which we can't do anymore. Then we can try living in the present, even if changes are coming, by focusing on the gift of the present rather than living in the past or fearing the future. Isaiah 43 verses 18 and 19 encourages us to forget the past failures and embrace the new things God is doing. And then Jeremiah 29:11 promises us a future filled with hope. So I end up by saying we have to reflect on our legacy. Even if things are not as good as they used to be right now, what do I want to leave behind? So you focus on what matters most. You learn to say no to things that drain your energy or stress you out. And you align yourself with and don't align with your values. So you look for things that will make you richer emotionally. And you shift from what is being lost, physical strength is gone, or you don't do ABCD anymore. And then you concentrate on what you are gaining. You are gaining more wisdom by your age, and you are gaining spiritual depth. You've walked with God for a long time, so you are in a better position, and your trust in God has grown, and you know that He's faithful, and He will see you through whatever stage is coming your way. And to end it, life transitions provide an ideal opportunity to reassess your core values and ensure your new path align with what matters most to you. So, Dr. Kadama, I have to go. I'm sorry I won't be able to answer any questions, but my time is up. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Catherine. I think you've dealt with our subject very well, and we have to let you go. Members, allow Catherine to go, and then the floor is going to be open to us. She has to attend something urgent. Yes. You can send those emojis in appreciation if you feel you have gained something from the session. Yes, Catherine has dealt very well and in depth and quickly on our subject to prepare us spiritually and emotionally for life transitions. All of you appreciate that we've been dealing with the physical, the body, the illnesses, different diseases, and we've dissected them as in depth, which is helpful as we age and helpful as we help each other to grow and age purposefully. This time around, we are trying to deal with our spiritual side of it and our emotions. Please don't look at yourselves as Christians only. We have all sorts of other beliefs, Muslims, Hindus, and everything. But basically, the common things are there is a spiritual part of us, and that's what we were trying to start the year with. How can we prepare ourselves spiritually? Because as we age, every single day, there are demands, there are new demands, there are old demands, and all that. But we need to prepare ourselves, and I think that's what Catherine has ably helped us to look at. At this juncture, I would like to invite any of you who has something to share. Please put up your hand. Martha, you can help us to look at messages in the chat box, and anyone who wants to put up their hands so that we share on this challenge we have. How can we prepare ourselves spiritually and emotionally to go through the transitions as we age? I'm sure all of you are not one day old. We have been changing. Look at yourselves and share with us. Yes, aging is a journey. We all share And we are all lucky. God has allowed us to live from day one to many years now, above 60. Some are not yet there, but this is a blessing, as Catherine has said. Growing is not a burden. Don't look at it as a burden. It's a season filled with wisdom, lessons, and meaning. I'm sure many of you have something to share. A bit of time for you to digest. Even caregivers, we serve with a clean and open heart. There's something behind in your inner being which helps you to serve and serve diligently.
Yes, good morning once again. Nancy had raised her hand. Nancy, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I had raised my hand. I thank the presenter very much for that presentation. It has actually confirmed what has always been on my mind. Many times I've had this question, what will be said on my grave? What will people say now that I'm aging? What will people say when I'm gone? And this idea of touching the community, giving back to the community, supporting the young people in the community who might need your help, sharing your experiences so that people can, get out of their walls, can I say, because some people are in their walls and when they hear their experiences, and sometimes when we retire back in the rural communities, we are looked at as, someone with a different maybe level or something. So I think it is very good to integrate or to mingle or to bring yourself down to the communities and even talk to them, because I've realized in my church, when I speak, people really listen. And I think it is a very good thing to touch the community positively. And this question, let's always ask ourselves, what will be said when I'm not listening? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Nancy.
Dr. Christine, unfortunately, there are no hands raised or any messages in the chat room.
Yes, Martha. That's okay. I think people are still digesting, looking at those situations, those areas where the time when you have to let go. I liked the area when she talked of losses. These losses can be actual loss of someone, death, loss of part of your body. It can be loss of possession. Really, she helped us, at least she opened our eyes to these things actually happen and they affect your inner being. But you need to prepare yourself to be able to embrace those changes. You imagine living in a big mansion with servants, bringing this and that to the point of even cleaning your body. And then all of a sudden you are out of job, you've lost the possessions and you have to wake up and see, where am I? How do I go through this? Without the strength which you should have been building all along, it might be a big, big blow to you. It is a big blow. Any loss is really a big blow. But we have to prepare. You have to plan. She gave us ideas like plan that you start your day with gratefulness, thankfulness, a prayer, and she took us through types of prayers. You could use, I grew up seeing my mom using Echisumuluzo, a key, that booklet locally usually have Echisumuluzo. We have to wake up to actually prepare our spiritual and emotional life. That is the whole purpose of this meeting. I see Muhammad Maweje's hand is up. Please unmute and contribute.
Yes, good morning, members. Thank you for this. I would also really like to convey my appreciation to the presenter. Sorry, I can't get the name. The name has slipped. She really did a good job. She did a very good presentation onto this, because she actually also touched about some of the things that I kept thinking about as a person as we walk through this journey of aging. Now, this journey of aging is not something that you can avoid or you can shy away with, or you can say, I won't think about it. Because it's a natural process and these things will come. The health will deteriorate, like it or not. You're going to lose loved ones. So these things are bound to happen. They are bound to happen. And I think the better we actually start even thinking about them and maybe thinking of what to do in the event that they come, the better we shall be when those eventualities actually come through. They're unavoidable and they are must happens. So I appreciated how she talked about, of course, the relationship with God. And that is really, really very important. For me, I subscribe from the Muslim faith. And of course, we all worship God. It's that one God. We just go through different channels. But also, okay, assuming, let's say, they keep saying, okay, assuming, this thing of God, it could be a risk at some point. If maybe one says that, okay, God is not there, and you live by the life of God is not there, then what if you cross the other line of death, and then you go there, and then they start asking you these questions? So you would have taken a risk. So I think it's important we have to factor this spiritual aspect. Of course, some people tend to think they're not there. Maybe God is not there. That's another line of the story. That's their perception. But you're taking a risk. What if you end up there and they're asking you these things and the things are real? What would you have to say? Even if you are religious and you go there and maybe you had prepared or you're in that line of God, you'll be better off. So it's an important aspect to really consider the spiritual aspect as well. I've also liked the aspect of just the emotional aspect. Emotion is important because emotions really drive our life. From the time you wake up, there are these things that you're struggling with as an individual. And the more you have emotional issues or challenges, the deeper they affect you as a person. You wake up with this quarrel, a village quarrel, a neighbor quarrel, a family quarrel, and you've all set ultimatums. You're even going to quarrel further in that day, or you're going to sit into this family meeting where people are really unleashing all these negative thoughts or problems or whatever. Now that really affects you as a person, or more so if you're the one to be discussed. So I think what we have to do, I like what you said, that you need to really manage these emotional aspects. Sometimes letting go is one of the things that really helps you out, that makes you have a better inner being of yourself. Letting go of some of these things. It's this quarrel has been, or even stems from some people who even passed on and you're still holding on to them, you're fueling them. Sometimes it's good to really let go and you have your inner peace. That's one of the things. And also, the other thing maybe that I thought about is, of course, these emotional aspects also come through with the financial muscle that you have. You don't have to have a lot of money, because not even those with most monies live happily, no. But I think maybe this stems from how we also prepare our finances. Shall we be able to at least afford some basic things like basic meals or even basic medication? Because if you don't have that, the emotional aspect won't go well. Maybe you're sick, you spend the night with a headache, but you're struggling with even taking yourself to the basic facility to get medical intervention. So it's important maybe we also fix a little bit of our finances. We need to be independent. If you're dependent on the children will also have issues. They might be able to even support you or come in to support you on time. But if you yourself, you're able to at least support, handle the basic necessities for yourself, then you'll have better emotional, better mental health at that. Maybe the aspect that I think was missed out a bit, I would think I would also contribute on the health aspect. Yes, as we age, like I said, these changes have to come. They're unavoidable. Before you know it, the leg starts, the back, this, that. So for me, my advice would be that as we age, really, we don't need to have to wait for the doctor to tell us that your BP is high. Why should you wait for the doctor to tell you? Why should you wait to be taken by your children from your home after this distraught call that, I'm dying, I'm letting the driver take and say, oh, your BP is high, your sugar levels are bad. Why should you wait for that? I think it is prudent that we do some measures before. Even if you're unwell, go visit this doctor. They check you before it gets to that point of red. They check you out. They'll be able to guide you or maybe start on this before the pressure rises to 200. At least to go, if it's still in 30 or 40, they start giving some medication to manage this. Health is important. It drives all these things that we are in. Personally, I used to do, this week I've missed some exercises for the past 3 weeks. And now I feel this weight toll in my legs and no longer moving. So I'm struggling. I'm actually not well. And now when the health aspect brings in, and now I'm actually planning on really resuming my exercises and all that. So visiting the doctor also is a good one as we age. They guide us. They will guide us to manage some of that. Of course, there are those ailments, those complex ones, but there are others that they can manage. And visiting them even before you fall sick would be a good one. The aspect of also joining the communities is one thing. There are communities where maybe you're joining in and you're spending. If you have the money, well and good. However, it's good to join these support groups, people who are in your same boat, people who have the same problems, same challenges. If maybe I would say if maybe your income is within maybe 1 million shillings, it's good to join these people who are within your same boat, because if you join them, you'll have the same problems. If you have a lot of money and you join a sector of really poor people who are low income earners, you'll be spending for, and then this will drain you. But if you join people who are in your same caliber or category, when you sit, it will be more of mental support and emotional discussion. So you will share real life experiences, how to go about this, and you'll feel better. I think that's my submission. But thank you for organizing this. It's been a good one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mawije Muhammad. Yes, that point of asking yourself whether there is a God or not, I don't want to go, I'm not even qualified to go into that subject, but I know, and with experience, that a moment comes when you are alone, and you are actually alone, and there's that inner voice, inner feeling, which you depend on, or which, let me say, I've depended on. And that's what we are looking at today. There's that spiritual part of someone, of anyone, which is always there for you. Now, as she has said, if this is developed and grown and you walk with it every day, you nurture it through readings, Bible readings or Quran readings, whatever, by the time you really age and you see all these losses and whatever, it comes by nature. You know where to lean, you know where your strength are, where your strength is. This is the spiritual part which we want us to learn to prepare. We particularly chose the beginning of the year so that with 2026, we don't walk without planning our spiritual part of it. We have tried to plan the medical, like Mr. Maweje has just said, medical checkups. We've gone through all this, but we've not had opening and dissecting of our spiritual part. This is just the beginning. And a good example is exactly what happened to me yesterday. We had Reverend Kakonge he had been preparing since the year began to take us through this session. He's a theologist, he's a counselor, he's a psychologist, but I just got a message that he's in ICU. And he lives in America. And when you get a stroke and you can't talk, the doctors know what it means. But I just got that message that your friend is in ICU, even unable to say, I won't be able to come. And I had to find a way of, getting this session going. How do you embrace the changes? It was a topic which the team had deliberated on, saying, let us start our year doing this spiritually, looking at our emotions, looking at our spirit, so that we walk 2026 preparing ourselves wholly, not body only, but spiritually also. And a change comes uninvited, unexpected, but you've got to embrace it. You have to have that inner strength. You have to have that, okay, it is done. He's not going to be there. What next? This happens all through our lives. You lose someone, they've gone. The example she told us that let's leave the baggage behind, the baggage of behindness. Let's leave it and walk with new things. Take opportunities. Look at the positive things in it. Just counting your blessing, as she put it, is so important, because like in Uganda, we assume that they will break and there will be sunshine and we shall walk to work. One day we'll wake up and there is snow all over. What will happen to you? That is physical, but things happen like that even in our souls, in our spirits, that part of us which you can't touch. Things are happening on a daily basis. Let us learn to recognize them. Let us learn to plan for them. Let us learn to grow defense mechanism of how to embrace those changes. Any other contribution from anyone? Yeah, if there's no further sharing, I'll just repeat the few points. Like, aging is a journey. We all share if God allows us life. So those of us who are 60 plus, we are blessed and we should count that blessing. It's not a burden, it's a blessing. It is a season filled with wisdom, lessons, and meaning. May we leave this place remembering, as older adults and middle-aged ones, we deserve respect, safety, and dignity in every stage of our life. And for our caregivers, let us serve with clean hearts. And may families protect rather than exploit each other. There's a message just saying thank you to the presenter. We shall convey that great message. Yeah, let us carry today's message into our homes and our communities so that aging is lived with peace, purpose, and honor. Thank you for coming and logging on this morning. Whatever season you are going through now, we are grateful. Let us remain grateful. Let us remain together. And from the Purposeful Aging team, please make sure that your email is left in the chat room. Otherwise, we may miss communication. And for the many who were unable to come today, assure them that the recording will be there in about 5 days' time. And please do visit our YouTube channel. Martha, do you want to give the YouTube and email details? Please put them in the chat room before we just close. I want to thank you so much for always logging on time and contributing freely to our sessions. And if you feel there's something we want to touch, please do not hesitate. Put it on our WhatsApp and our email. Martha, I have not seen the email. Thank you, Anne, for the email, and Edward. We shall meet again on the 28th of February. And our topic this time will be on similar lines, but particularly dealing with how we embrace disabilities in our families. I'm sure many of you will have stories how you have embraced a child or two who has been born with a disability or who acquired a disability at one point or another in their lives. Mr. Maweji, is your hand up again or just not put down?
Yes, my hand was up again.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, I just wanted to just maybe inform the members that, sorry, I'm really a new member to this group. And I believe there may also be new people who are on to here. And maybe I've liked it. I actually just saw someone shared this to me on WhatsApp. Like, oh, there's this session, so I just clicked to join and see what happens there. But I think it's a good one for me. I've liked it, and I would like to know more of this group. Maybe where do the emails or the subscribing? I've seen some emails in the chat. I don't know whether these are the emails that we should write to really become more members. Like I've seen, it looks like you have monthly meetings, monthly chats on here, which are really good. I really want to join, and I guess there are other people who are new here. So maybe my question is, so if I want to be a part of this, what do I have to do? Keep joining? Can my phone number be added? Can someone pick my phone number? What do I decide? Maybe I'm a part of this group. Thank you. There could also be other people who are like me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maweji, for the kind words. Yes, we have a monthly meeting every last Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. for 1 hour and a half, and we have different topics. I hope, Martha, you put down the address. We have a YouTube channel where we put the recordings of whatever has happened in that month. And we have an email address, which is purposefulbakulu@gmail.com. It is a free session, really trying to help each other how to age with intention, really, purposefully. how do we age purposefully? We are not necessarily medical. We don't claim to give you medical, how do you put it, medical jargon and such, but we want to walk with ourselves when we are back in our homes, with our caregivers. How do we handle medical situations like you've had a stroke? How do you handle disability of you can't see well? We just want to help each other on how to manage ourselves as now people above 60, but inevitably many topics should have been with our knowledge since childhood. We've had topics about finance, and after that topic, the comments were, I wish I'd come with my son who is 10 years old, simply because if you do these things as early as possible, you stand to gain. I was watching one of these clips which keep going around that someone was 105 and he says, oh, he has done his whole life. He's a medical doctor, actually. He's walk, but you don't walk when you are 70. He started walking when he was young, and he's walking up to now. Those tips and wisdom and actually real medical situations are put into ordinary man's language. And how can we live? Because many times you go to see a doctor and they say, you take this and go home. But what happens when you are home is where we come in. We help each other on what happens in our down-to-earth life. I hope I've put it in Luganda language properly for you. And you are most welcome. You are welcome to share. If you leave us your email and WhatsApp number, you get the notifications.
Sorry, thank you so much, Dr. Christina. I think for me, this is one of the groups that I've been yearning for as an individual. I probably was struggling to even finding out whether there's any that exists. This is really a good one, and I'm glad I actually joined. I'm going to share my phone number plus my email, and I hope I can just be added to the database. But this is really a good session, and these are things that, as people, we need to really be focusing on, even be talking about, sharing these experiences. Thank you so much. You have really explained to me the purpose of the group and how it works, and for me, I've really liked it, and I would like to be really a member. I'm going to share my email and my other details. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope you've seen the YouTube channel. Martha has put it in.
Yes, I have
Purposeful.
seen it.
Okay.
Thank
Maybe just to, since you are still on, last year we ended our session with a physical meeting at Namalele, where we linked with Rotary E-Club of East Africa as they were giving out hampers, season of care hampers. We had 25 old adults around Namalile who were given those hampers. And the good news really which came out is that the Rotary E-Club of East Africa agreed that we should work together on this line. And more details will come out as we work out that partnership. But a few members from Purposeful Aging were there, and we are most welcome. We are blessed to have you. Thank you so much for coming. December is usually a difficult time for people because there are many family events, but many gave apologies and they were well received. I think Dr. Philip made us a small summary of what happened. I'm sure it will be put on our YouTube in the near future. Thank you very much for coming, and see you 28th February 2026. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.